Welcome back to DS Trucks. I'm with my buddy Tony. You've seen him on Powerstroke Tech Talk, and we're going to do a quick review on this truck. I think he's going to have a lot of benefits to offer to the channel, so I'm going to hand the microphone over to Tony, and he's going to give us a tour of this truck. Thanks a lot for doing this.
Yeah, no problem, dude. So pretty much what we have is an 11 through 16 Super Duty. She's pretty old now, almost 10, just about 10 years old. I think a lot of the stuff that you guys could kind of benefit from in terms of things that I've done that have given me a lot of benefit are, I've got a Banks SRAM air intake that has given me a lot of, better airflow. I'm not going to say I'm any kind of expert on how that works, but I do notice a difference, and it definitely helps me out. The truck is pretty clean for the most part. My batteries are a little dirty, but other than that, the engine, everything stays pretty clean. We've got the Boss plow mount. I know DS is a Fisher guy, but that's okay. We don't hate here. And yeah, I've got some VFGs on it. Tread's looking a little messy, but other than that, she's in pretty good shape for her age. A couple new body panels here and there. The 20-inch lariat wheels, the BFGs, those are the all-terrains. Yep, we got some, that's a 2-inch ready lift, just a basic level kit. Heavier Ford springs, Bilstein shocks all around. Those definitely help with ride quality. DS and I were just also talking about some of the stuff up here in the front end, keeping it clean, and also the S&B body mounts, which you can kind of tell are there if you look at that red gasket versus if you look at your regular Ford one there. Those definitely improve the ride quality greatly in conjunction with those Bilstein shocks, and they're cheaper than if you're going to do them, if you're getting up in age like this truck is. There's a good chance you will have to replace those body mounts soon, and those are definitely the king, and they're cheaper than if you buy the Ford ones, and they ride better in my opinion. Other than that, we've got the blue jeans metallic paint job, obviously. I believe that was a special order color. I'm sure they made a couple for the lot, but I don't see that many anymore. She's in pretty good shape there. New exhaust from an accident. Doesn't look new. Looks pretty much like it did when I took it off after the accident, but she's got some miles on her. I think this truck has 147,000 and change. But yeah, other than that, she's... We've also got the Banks rear differential cover that is down below the truck. I don't know if we've got enough light for that. That is a great help in terms of both towing, probably also for plowing, just keeping the differential cool. I've also noticed between that, the intake, and a couple of the other things that I've done to the truck, I've definitely seen a huge jump in fuel economy from that. The truck also, not something that I did, but that I probably would have done in all honesty, and that is not something that is legal for you to do anymore, so I do not recommend this. The truck is deleted, so that definitely helps out with longevity, but the way that things are going these days, modern fuel additives and whatnot, you should be good. But yeah, we've got some new running boards. You could probably see from this angle, probably right about where I'm standing, or where DS is standing, that's got that nice shine to it. We got A-Rod back there, he's having fun. There you go. He did right on cue too. But yeah, so we got this, it's a little dirty, forgive me. I know DS said it doesn't matter, but it's a little embarrassing. If we go down the whole truck here, you can see this little chip guard. So if you're having a lot of problems with rock chips from like all-terrain tires like I do, it's a pretty inexpensive option as long as your paint's already good and they can kind of mask it off. It's a nice rigid material. I've also got it on the rockers and in the wheel wells, and that really helps out with rocks and driving down the highway. I just drove from Maine to Michigan about 1,000 miles at a pretty good rate of speed, and it's kept the wheel wells and the side of the truck safe. We've got the nice blue jeans is still there. On the trip over here, it depends. So if I'm like pushing it and I'm doing like 100, 110 sometimes, right over burying the needle with that tuning that it's got, You know, I'm probably getting anywhere between 15 and 16, but if I just drive it like a normal person and I'm concerned about the fuel economy, I've gotten as much as like 31 miles to the gallon with this thing. Yeah. So it, you know, it really just depends on what kind of foot you have, and if you're conscious of it. I like to hear the turbo. You know, we all like to hear the turbo. But yeah, you know, we got it here for some service with A-Rod. Today he's gonna be doing a trans service, new head unit going. That's another reason that I chose when I ordered this truck. I chose the XLT with a bunch of lariat options, so it's got the power rear sliding window. It's got tow mirrors, of course, like any Super Duty does. That's not an option, but you know, just a bunch of little things. It's got like the USB ports and things like that. Just basic lariat features. I went with a little more nice chrome on the exterior, as you can see, including the running boards, which are also new after the accident, but they are the same original ones to the truck. And you know, as DS and I were just talking about, they do have the best captain's chairs with that cloth, and so this is the reason I did that, was just to make sure that I could upgrade the head unit every few years. And now, you know, people I know have CarPlay and stuff, and I'm jealous. So, but yeah, that's her. We call her Old Bluey. That's what the little boy calls her, my little guy. And we tried to get that license plate in Maine, but a Toyota RAV4 has it. And I have a picture of it. I'll give it to you if you want to include it in the footage. We're going down the road one day, and I'm like, we found Bluey. And because we were trying to get the plate. And yeah. Is there anything else you want to know about it?
No, that's pretty much it.
All right, cool. Well, there she goes. Thanks for having me, DS.
Oh yeah, no problem. Thanks for doing that. And yeah, I know this configuration of truck is a really good configuration. If you follow the channel for long enough, then you know I had a truck similar to this, minus the diesel engine, minus the XLT trim. I had a white truck that was a extended cab short box, and I do remember that truck was so good at plowing snow, just being a shorter wheelbase, still having the utility of somewhat of a back seat. Even though it's not as big as the crew cab, it's still very, very useful of a back seat. I would put a whole crew back there, and it was a little bit tight, but it got the job done. So this is really a treat for me to see, you know, a truck like this, someone using this configuration truck. I ended up selling mine and going with a crew cab, but I do remember, you know, there's drawbacks to going with a bigger truck and a bigger cab. You know, you're plowing snow.
One thing I do want to add too, these trucks right now, and I'm not sure, you know, who out there in Powerstroke land has them, but when I had ordered this truck a long time back, fast rewind, long story short, I had sold it for a little while, got it back, thank God it was still taken care of how I took care of it, and I've had it for the last 100,000 miles again. When I picked it up during the pandemic, I got it back for like 29 grand, and now the truck, if you check the value on these trucks, they're upwards of like $45,000 at a clean retail, which this one is of course clean. So if you guys are out there, you know, you might have had a nice little come up in value if you had bought one of these type of older trucks, and they are still a pretty good value if you're looking for a new truck that, you know, isn't going to break the bank and be $100,000, or you don't have that kind of budget.
Yeah, you were right about how you can modify these older trucks. I mean, you could take the head unit out, you can put another head unit in, and when you're talking about the 20s, the 18s, even when they have the touchscreen from the factory,
that's the direction Ford is going in.
You can't switch those out. You can't, you know. So the truck like this, you think you can take the whole head unit out and put a nice, whatever, Kenwood or whatever in there, and you can have all the newest features.
We're doing that today.
And yeah, I think that's definitely a good, you know, value point here. You know, there's always a cork when it comes to a factory radio. Even the nice new ones, they might come out with some real nice big screens. There's always a cork. You know, maybe the Bluetooth isn't that good or something. But you know what? When you get you a Kenwood,
and then you could upgrade to CarPlay and things like that in your 2014 truck.
Yeah, you get you a Kenwood, you're on the cutting edge.
Yep.
But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. I want to thank Tony for doing this. I really appreciate it. But anyway, see you guys in the next video. My name is Sean. This is DS Trucks. Over and out.